apprentice. I see you have taken well to Shicho, and you have heeded my warning and waited to construct your lightsaber. Good. That time is rapidly approaching, but first, you must begin to master the way of Form 2. Form 2 is known as Makashi, the way of the Salamiri, the contention form. You have come far and grown strong in the Force. I believe you are ready to continue your training. This style will be difficult to master. It differs greatly from Shicho, and so you must be prepared. Accessing file, Makashi. Processing. Designed specifically for engaging and defeating an opponent wielding a lightsaber, Makashi was developed in response to the inherent weaknesses Shicho had in this regard. A master of Makashi is a martial artist who focuses on fencing before all else. They hold their weapon in a one-handed grip, placed in a low guard, saber extended to their side, feet shoulder-width apart. Alternatively, the user will use a one-handed grip, facing side to side with their opponent, their saber pointing straight at the enemy. The thumb should be placed along the saber's hilt, pointing forward towards the blade. Makashi was designed as a specific counter to Shicho. As such, it is specifically designed to prevent disarming attacks. It is the mark of a Makashi master that their weapon can never be taken from them. Where Shicho's attacks are wide and sweeping, Makashi's are smooth, almost minimalist. The form relies on jabs and light strikes more than it does on chopping. This means the user's movements must be fluid, controlled, and elegant. A Makashi user will hold their blade forward when under attack, pointing at their opponent. This allows for a smooth, circular range of motion at the elbow. The wielder simply has to turn their elbow up or down, and the blade will move to cover the upward or downward vector. This economy of movement is a hallmark of Makashi, and it allows a master to manipulate the blades of their foes with ease. The Makashi wielder will often attempt to bind their opponent's blade and then perform what is called an envelopment. This is when the wielder spins their blade around their opponents from the bind, either tossing their weapons away or slicing through the forearm in a disarming move. Movement in Makashi is done along a single, continuous back and forth line, both forward and back, and side to side. Your motion should be smooth and efficient. Always take the quickest path from point Auric to point Besh. Your parries should be tight and controlled. Any movement should be of the highest level of grace, appearing smooth and flowing. There are two main methods of attack in Makashi. The first is known as Sunjem. This form of attack is a power attack designed to wrench your opponent's weapon away or outright destroy it. The second form of attack is Shiak. Shiak is the act of stabbing an opponent. Shiak attacks will be thrusting, smooth, precise, designed to slip past the guard of your opponent. A skilled master of Makashi will find a way to integrate these attack patterns together into a seamless flurry of attacks and parries. But Makashi is not without its drawbacks. The form is tailor-made for engaging lightsaber-wielding opponents, and as such it suffers against blaster fire, especially from multiple sources. The stance and movement within Makashi also limits the amount of strength that can be generated in strikes, and leaves the wielder open to being overwhelmed through the brute strength of their opponent. There is something else to consider, should you decide to commit yourself fully to Makashi. And that is your lightsaber. Soon, I will give you the instructions you need to construct your own weapon, and there are specifications for this tailored just for Makashi. A Makashi wielder's weapon will often sport a curved hilt, as this design fits better in the palm and allows for greater precision and control. Another alternative is the light foil, a smaller, more elegant version of the lightsaber created by the Macrosa Order. This is something you should look into later, when you have had the time to master the basics of Form 2. Notable wielders of Makashi include Kanto Marek, Shak T, High Inquisitor Jarek, and the infamous Count Dooku. Makashi is a form for fencers. It requires a certain level of grace and poise to master fully. Its movements are economic, direct, and fluid. Attacks with Makashi lack the power of other forms, but they are more accurate, designed to tangle up your opponent's blade and disarm. A true master of Makashi is a swordsman to be feared. They can contend with wielders of any other form, the only limiting factor being the personal skill of the user. With that being said, should you choose Makashi as your focus, keep in mind the form is weak against multiple opponents, especially if those opponents are wielding blasters. But should you take care and dedicate yourself to daily improvement within Form 2, it can become the deadliest at your disposal. Now, take what you have learned and begin the next phase of your training. Once again, this holocron can be linked with your ship's computer for detailed lessons on the accelerations within Makashi. The files for training on building a lightsaber will also be unlocked. You may begin the process of acquiring the parts you need. Allow the Force to guide you as you master Form 2, and soon you will find yourself the wielder of a weapon truly worthy of Sith. I shall continue to monitor your progress. The next lesson will unlock when I have judged you skillful enough within Makashi. Go now, and may the Force break your chains.